Hi, welcome to our edition of Best Friends. It's February, the month of love. Remember to show a little extra love to your pets this month. You know, they don't need fancy smancy treats. They don't need boxes of candy. In fact, they absolutely do not need boxes of candy. But what they do need is you. A little bit of time spent giving them some extra brushing, going for an extra walk. That's how an animal knows that you care. It's your time that does it, not all the other stuff. Really good food is important, but you know. The shelter cat here, this is Eli. Eli has kind of a bird thing going on. And the birds don't much like him, so that kind of time we don't need. Eli, really? The 4 budgies that we have in this contraption have been in my office. They are now out at the front desk. These pairs did not come in together, but they have acclimated to each other. You can see that they have plenty of things to do in their house. We have alternate food stations so that nobody gangs up on anybody else and keeps them from eating. We have normally 2 sources of water, and if you have groups of birds, it's always a good idea to make sure that there are alternate possibilities for getting food. These are being very quiet right now because they're keeping a very close eye on the black cat who is lurking behind the cage. He can't get to them, but just the same, I'm sure it's annoying to them. It's hard to be anywhere in the shelter that the cats can't go, though. I mean, really, it's their house too. They have lots of mirrors so that they can chatter at each other. Birds really love company, and looking at each other is nice. Now things will be a little bit calmer. Eli's being escorted out the door. I know, he's a cat. Anyway, birds really like company. They love mirrors. If you have a single bird, having a mirror in the cage is a really nice thing for them. They will sit and talk to it quite a lot during the day. I don't know exactly what it says for their level of self-awareness. There are some birds that do realize it's a reflection, but most of them don't seem to, so it's sort of a comfort to them. Anyway, these little guys have a lovely soft twittering sound that they they can, you know, just vocalize ad nauseum, but really it's kind of calming. In addition to the 4 budgies that you just saw, we also have 3 cockatiels. All 3 of those cockatiels are male. They do seem to get along well with other birds, though, and so that might be a possibility for you if you're interested in birds. We don't place birds in households where there is smoke because there are like 7 air sacs per bird, and that's a lot more than 2 human lungs. And so toxins in the air are like 7 times more difficult for them to deal with than it would be for a human. Just bearing that in mind. Smoking's really not much good for anybody. So we have some other kinds of alternative pets right now. The next pet up is a bunny rabbit. This is a little Netherland dwarf. She's a little bit uncomfortable with the open environment here and the camera, so she's not doing much. But she really enjoys being cuddled. She likes being petted. She loves treats. And she is absolutely adorable. Look at those adorable tiny little bunny ears. Can you move? Yes, straight into a dark corner. How very rabbit-like of you. There. Now maybe. People tend to get bunnies for children, for young children, which has always kind of baffled me because they're really a much better adult pet. They are sweet and cute, and furry, which is attractive to young children, but they're not all that easy to take care of, and they can be injured pretty badly by dropping them. And their backs are kind of fragile, but if your household can support a bunny rabbit, then they do make terrific pets. Half the fun with rabbits is learning to understand what they're telling you without having to read their facial expressions, because bunnies aren't real big on facial expressions, not much moves, but they have a lot of good body language. We also have several guinea pigs, or cavies. This one is a little female, and she's a little over a year old, well, maybe a year and a half old. And as you can see, is a very social little piggy. Guinea pigs are often community creatures. You know, people who have a guinea pig often have more than one. They have a terrific amount of personality, though, and not all the personality is great. You have to be real careful about combining guinea pigs, because you have some guinea pigs that are dominant and some that aren't, and they can be kind of raspy with each other. So that's another. She's a little bit wary, which is pretty typical of anything that's at the bottom of a food chain, and she is. She would be prey if she were not cared for properly. So be careful letting your little guys run loose with your dogs and cats. You may think they get along, but that may not be what's really going on. This is Orion. Orion is a butterscotch and white economy-sized cat. He weighs over 20 pounds. He is really good with families. He has a very mellow personality. That might be because it takes a while for him to get all of that bulk headed in one direction, or it could be just that he is a very gentle guy. Little kids seem to like this kitty. They can rest their head on him and he doesn't mind. He's kind of a fluffy cat. He could stand to lose a little weight, but he carries it well, with dignity. I kind of like him. And like a lot of large cats, he's not very interested in being picked up and held, but he likes to be close to you. He is a neutered male, so he would be able to go home with you today. He's beautiful. This is Logan. Isn't that a great name? Such dignity in a kitty cat. He is the sweetest thing. He is just a little over a year old, so he's still very kitten. And just the nicest guy. short-haired, easy keeper, and has that terrific brown tabby personality, you know. Just love it. I think he's eyeing the catnip treat, hoping for an opportunity there. When you brush him, he headbutts, which I always find kind of endearing. He has very nice striping. What a sweet boy. Anyway, he would be a great addition to a family, even with young children, I think, because he's a really steady guy. Really, really enjoys attention. Very affectionate cat. You remember that the last cat was a brown tabby, and his name was, let me see, Logan. That was Logan. This is Dexter. Don't get them confused, because Dexter is not good with small children. See, just being a brown tabby doesn't mean you're predisposed to being a mellow guy. Dexter, on the other hand, doesn't mind an adult petting him on the head. If you wander anywhere else on his body, chances are good he's going to bite you. Not viciously, just enough to make sure you know that it's not welcome. His owner has said that he absolutely does not like small children, so we know that for sure, but I don't think that we would really recommend placing him with small children anyway because of the biting thing. But if you want a cat and can respect the cat's space, Dexter would be great company, because, you know, he will organize the household for you. He'll talk to you about what you can and can't do. And there you go. Some people are really comfortable with a cat like that. Really, Dexter? What do you think? Are you good with this? He's a beautiful boy. He has absolutely gorgeous green eyes. What? I think he really has a lot of authority. He's pretty comfortable with himself, which is always a good trait in a cat. And it may be that he's more affectionate than we understood from the owner. We just haven't really pushed that much. This is Kyla. Kyla is as you can see, a black short hair, very healthy cat, young cat, probably about a year old. Has been spayed already, and so is ready to go home. She does very well with people. I think she'd probably even be okay with older children. She does not do well with other cats, however. So if you have a household that includes other cats now, you probably would not want to introduce Kyla into it. Don't know how she does with dogs. Often cats will not get along with other cats, but may get along with dogs. They're not necessarily anti-other species. They just don't much care for competition in their own. Really? Really? And that assessment is based on her reaction to other cats here, which is not necessarily the end-all in terms of assessments. We do know that in a home environment, that trait can either be much more or much less than what we see here. And of course, cats can live together in a house and still not get along well, as long as they have plenty of places to go and you don't have one that is so aggressive that it backs the other one away from food or the litter pan or water or anything. So if you have a beloved person who is having a birthday, or you want to give them something nice because you love them, remember that we do have gift certificates at the shelter, and they can pick out their own cat or dog or bunny or guinea pig or bird, or whatever, and we can help you with that. So that would be a nice gift. Stick with us. We have more coming. Stay with us till we get over to the dog area, and you can look at some of the guys that we have available for adoption right now. This is a sweet little pitty named Dodge. Hi. Dodge is, yes, a pit bull. And as with all of our pitties, we say secure confinement, no other male dogs in the household, not because we think this is a bad dog. We think this is a lovely dog, but we want to make sure that he has the very best possibility of succeeding in a new home. And that's one of the things that we know will help. So you do have to have secure confinement. That means a fence, a good one, usually. There are other ways of dealing with that, but we do not want to see a pit on a chain. That is not good for the breed. It's not really good for any dog, but it's definitely a bad idea for these guys. So be prepared for that. We do make home visits. And, of course, Dodge needs to be neutered, so that will be the next thing that happens for him. He will, when he is adopted, he'll go directly to the vet and get neutered, and then his new family can pick him up. You wouldn't want to leave this pup unsupervised with kids. It isn't that he would start anything, but he could finish it. And you don't want to leave him alone with other animals, even a female dog, or with definitely no bunnies. You don't want to tempt him with cats. These guys do have a prey drive that can tip over. And you know, I get so sick of warning people about the downside of owning a pet that I forget to tell them about the upside. They are incredibly loyal dogs. They are easy keepers. They are funny. They have a boundless capacity for love, and they're very stoic. These guys just hardly even show pain. And so, for the most part, they're easy to treat, easy to deal with. And as you can see, we can put our hands all over this dog, and he's fine with it, which is something that we definitely look for. Well, now he's feeling a little stressed, but hey, I know, I'm wooling him around. So if you're interested in having a wonderful companion, and we'll take him through training and make sure that he responds to you the way any dog should, then come see us, because Dodge would like to go home with you. This is a 3-month-old puppy. I know. He's huge. Shepherd and elephant, something. We don't know for sure, but whatever it is, it's big, and it's going to get a lot bigger. And as puppies go, my goodness, you could not find one any sweeter than this. Just the kindest dog. It's a little male. His 2 sisters have been here with him, and they have been adopted. All of the very best aspects of dog here. He's going to be a terrific companion. He's going to learn very quickly, so you can train him. He's going to be loyal and loving, and he just needs a family that's going to love him just as much. Look at those paws. His paws are nearly as big as my hand. He's 3 months old. Goodness. You want to come home with me? I would take you home. Yes. Of course, my dogs, my husband, my bird, and my cats would probably be really offended, but I think you're just precious. Surely somebody out there has wanted a shepherd. And this one is, he's not a purebred, goes without saying, but geez, what a great little dog. Not real sure about the altitude here. Oh, we're getting a little more confident. Yes. Oh, well, I can stand up. How about that? Oh, there's just going to be all kinds of happy in a family that gets you. You would take care of everybody and make sure they were loved, wouldn't you? Really? I mean, don't even need an electric blanket with this dog. He's going to be big enough to make sure everyone stays warm. This little guy is about 3 years old. He's a neutered male Chihuahua and possibly something. We're not sure what. Like most of his ilk, he's sort of like, you know, a nerve with hair, kind of shivery, but willing to adjust. He likes people. He does well with other dogs. He would be a great indoor dog. We don't know about his housebreaking skills. A lot of that depends on the human and how sensitive they are to when the dog needs to go out. So I think he's just adorable. What a cute little guy, and very portable. You know, if you go places, he's easy to carry, and probably would be good in the car. I know, you're just, wow, such love. What a sweetie. I can't see his teeth from here. Often we have difficulty with small dogs coming in with kind of icky teeth, and we have to take quite a bit of care to make sure that they have dentals and all of that kind of thing. His must not have been too very bad, or we would have had him into the veterinary dentist before now. So that's a plus. That's always a good thing with the Chihuahua. Dental health in all dogs is really, really important. But in these little guys, it can actually be a life or death thing. Here. Oh, we're not shaking anymore. Isn't that nice? Yeah. Cute as a little button. That's what. We have a number of other dogs in adoption right now, but they've all been adopted, and we're waiting on fence checks and landlord approvals and so forth. So come see us. Adoptions have been really very fast recently, but we have more animals coming in all the time. And so it would be a good idea to stop by and see us and see who you might be interested in. Be aware too that if you're buying an animal off Craigslist or out of the newspaper, take the trouble to go see where the animal was raised. Don't meet someone in a parking lot to see the animal. You need to know where it came from. And those of you who are rehoming pets that you already have, research your homes carefully. Pay a little bit of attention. We have had to deal with a case recently where someone was adopting or taking rabbits off of Craigslist that were bunnies and was killing them and using them for meat. So it's just, you know, a heck of a thing when you think that your animal is going to a home and that's what they're really facing when your back is turned. So please kind of check that out. And if you don't have time to do that, then come to the shelter and bring it to us. We'll take the time to check it out. So give your pets that level of respect. I know that it's a tough time to live with the kinds of things that go on, and we don't even think about it, but being naive is not a favor for your pet in this case. So with that very cheery note, and boy am I sorry to have to end like that, I hope you have a great rest of the winter, and come by the shelter with animals, and we are always happy to see you.